Hello, and welcome to another broadcast with Gian. Watching this program, you are going to be inspired, challenged, and enlightened. Now, let me introduce to you our host, Gian.
Hello, dear friend. I'm glad that you are back here with the lesson number 2 of parenting, and I'm happy that we discussed the first one last Tuesday. So now let's go to today, Thursday, lesson number 2 in parenting. If you remember the lesson number 1, we said the lesson number 1 is the respect for authority, fearing authority, right? Okay, so that's very important. This is the foundation, because the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. Now, the second thing in parenting, mom and dad, you need to teach your child to love. Now, people wonder about that, right? They say, how can I teach to a child to love others? Well, the best way that I can explain this is love is, above all the things, is an invisible energy, is power. In fact, you know that love is God. God is love. It's the Spirit of God in you that allows you to love people, even for those who do not believe that God exists, even for those who are atheist or agnostic or any other variety of religions and views. When they are able to love, in fact, it's because it's God in them, allowing them to love. It's the power of God. And there was a popular song about it in the 80s, The Power of Love, which I have my own version of that song. It's a funny video that I made a time ago. But anyways, the power of love, that's the second thing. How do you teach a child to love? Remember, it's an invisible, powerful energy. It's the Spirit of God, right? So how can we teach somebody that? Well, imagine a glass. If you have a glass that is empty, well, what can you get out of that glass? But if in that glass you pour orange juice or cranberry juice or water, whatever, tea, obviously that glass will be able to give the content to anyone who gets it, right? Love is the same thing. A child will not be able to give love unless he receives love. So your job as a dad, as a mom, is to pour love into this child's heart. Probably that is the difficult part, right? Because you, mom and dad, you are so busy working hard to provide that you don't think about the importance of being loving to your child. There are theories about how to demonstrate love, and it's absolutely true when someone says, well, do you know why I work so hard out there? It's because I love you. Yeah, it's true. There is a lot of truth in that, because if you don't have the money to pay for all the child's expenses, a house, etc., how can you say that you love your child, right? Because those who do not provide for their own family needs, how can they claim that they love their family? And I'm not talking about people with disabilities or ill or in some level of being unable to work. I'm talking about individuals able to work that refuse to work simply because they are lazy and irresponsible. Now, with that being said, the fact that you work hard and you put so many hours in your workplace, it's something that we can say, good for you. We applaud you. Thank you very much. Good job. But that's not enough. It's not enough, my friend. Because the heart of a child is not going to be filled with money. Here's another $10. So you are loved now. Another 20. Do you feel the love? You see, that doesn't make any sense. In fact, you see, time is one good way to demonstrate love. time that you sit down with your child to do whatever. Some people are good at doing craft work. Others are good by playing games with the child, doing sports, going places, taking them to trips and stuff like that. The importance is investing time with the child. One good way to demonstrate love to your child is by physical contact. There is nothing wrong with touching your child, touching the head of the kid, grabbing the little face once in a while and tell them beautiful things, because those words, they go deep down into their hearts. You grab a child, you look into the child's eyes and you say, I want you to know, little Jimmy, that I love you so much. I want you to know, little Elle, that I love you so much. The words are there, the touch is there, of course. All touches with respect, It's important to learn to respect the child, always. We need to learn our boundaries when it's about physical affection, But as you can see, there are other ways to show love, like, for example, buying a present. You can buy a present for a child and bring the present, or mail it and say, did you receive my present? And the child will be excited, and then the child says, yes, thank you. And you will say, I want you to know that I love you. That's why I gave you that present. Sometimes it's through doing something directly for them, like preparing a bowl with cereal, or grab a little bit of ice cream and put it together with some fruit and say, come here, little Mark, enjoy this thing that I made for you. Anything that you do with your hands for your child, that will show the child that you care. As I said, the big challenge is for you, Mom, and for you, Dad, to be aware that you initiate that in your child. Your child receives wonderful words all the time. The child is being taken care of with all their needs being met. The child receives presents. The child has your time once in a while, quality time. The child receives, whether it's a present or acts of service. Those things are all different aspects of love. That is great. You will do good. The child will receive that very well. And of course, you teach the kid that as he receives love, he must give love. As he hears, I love you, he must learn to say, I love you. You see, the glass, which was empty, now is filled with love. So the child will be able to love. That's lesson number 2. But let's talk about you. Do you realize then that the problem is your glass is kind of empty? Which explains why you are not that loving. And that is your challenge now. You need to learn to find in God the source of love. You think that your spouse or your parents or somebody else will give you that love that will make you feel loved, and then eventually you will be so loving. No. The one who will fill your heart with love is the Lord God. And He has unlimited love for you. Your job is not to go out asking for people to love you. You see, your job is to go to God to receive His love. Once you feel loved by God, you will be loving towards everyone. That's your job. You are not a little kid. You are not a little girl. You are an adult raising kids. As a responsible adult, you need to take care of your heart first, receiving from God the love that He has for you. Then it's going to be very easy for you to share that love with your child and with everybody else around you. I hope to see you here on Saturday for lesson number 3. Until then, have a nice day.
By Giancarlo Vitatoro.
I know you have suffered, but what if you would have never met your mom because she died giving birth to you? That's the beginning of Simon's story. Then Simon's father died when he was only 15 years old. He was sent to a foster home where he was bullied, humiliated, and there was no one to protect him. But Simon decided to find a way to get his revenge by studying and becoming good at sports. He won a scholarship, and soon he started his own business, Simon's Yardwork. Mean people were envious of his success, but one day, Simon met and fell in love with Jackie. They were happy until the FBI arrested Simon due to clues that incriminated him with several murdered people. Will Simon end up in prison? Don't miss the outcome of this story, The Best Revenge, the musical that will inspire everyone to pay good for evil. Go to mygiancarlo.com to purchase The Best Revenge on audio and video.
Hey, 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 hey. That's all, folks. Time to go home. Ciao.